Hey y'all, it's Taryn. It is Sunday, May 15th. Welcome. I hope y'all have had a great couple of weeks. We have. It's been busy, but that's the same old story. Addison's wedding was beautiful. Um, Everything went wonderfully, so we have no complaints. Um, Friday for the rehearsal dinner, it was very hot. Um, But on Saturday, we were blessed with the breeze, and even though it was hot, it wasn't miserable. um, Friday night, we went out to eat at a little Italian restaurant after the rehearsal. I think I counted 16 of us went to eat. In small town Columbus, Texas, is where we were. And this restaurant, they handled it wonderfully. I had told her in advance to let them know that there would be a large group because small town Friday night, they may not be expecting something like that. They got all of our food out there at the same time, and everybody's food was hot, and the orders were correct. It was fantastic. If you're in Columbus, go to Joe's Italian restaurant. They just, the food was good, and the staff was amazing. Wyatt got lobster ravioli with this cream sauce that was out of this world. It was good. Um, Dax and I had to come home on Friday after the rehearsal because of the animals. And so we had to drive back on Saturday. It's a couple of hours away from us. Um, on the way back, we stopped to get gas on the way to the wedding. And Dax pulled out and turned to pull in behind some guy and hit one of the cement posts that was very short. You couldn't see it from in the car. So now we have a dent in the door. Yay. And it's been a rough week for my shoes. After the wedding, the shoes I wore in the wedding, the ceremony hadn't started before they had rubbed a blister on the strap, had rubbed a blister on my toe, and then rubbed all that skin off. Um, Almost as soon as they were done taking pictures afterwards, I went and put on something else and threw those shoes away. And the shoes I wore to the rehearsal, I threw away. It's been rough around here for shoes. Um, but the truth of the matter is, I have so many I won't miss them. So, but at the wedding, I remembered why I never wore those shoes anymore. Anyway, none of that mattered at the time because it was all about Addison. Dax did not make it through the first look. Addison had done a first look. There was a pond on the property, and it had a little bridge, and they put him up at the middle of the bridge and with his back facing, and had her come out and wait for him to turn around at the bottom of the bridge. I'll get choked up talking about it. He was falling apart by the time he turned around. But she looked beautiful. All three girls looked beautiful, and Wyatt looked amazing. Very handsome in his outfit. None of us made it through the father-daughter dance. I took some video, and you can hear me sniffing during the video. If I can figure out, I'll throw in a couple of pictures. I don't have all that many. Nobody used their cell phones or did anything like that during the ceremony, which was very nice. And the photographer said it would probably take about 30 days for her to get the pictures ready. So right now we're mostly just waiting. Anyway, that's been, the big deal going on around here. Of course, it's Stitch Mania. I've been trying to keep up. I'm terrible about posting on Instagram. So you'll see most everything. But because I'm several days behind, there will be surprises in there too. Tomorrow, Dax and I are going away for the week to stay in the cabin we like to stay in. And I am so just looking forward to it. I can't wait. I guess we can get on to the stitching, because I have done that. These are not in order. I'm not that dedicated. Out of Cross Stitch and Country Crafts, May, June of 86. It looks like this. And I have all three of these going. I haven't looked that far ahead. I don't know if they're all in my Stitch Mania or not. But this one is the Nantucket Cat's Baskets and Quilts. Sorry, I always leave out the baskets. Y'all, that Siamese cat is no joke. I'm telling you, I had to rip out. This is going to be a common theme for the last week or two. I had to rip out part of that cat's face and stitch new stuff in because I just have no idea what's going on. There are about 80 colors. That's what it feels like anyway. It is plenty of confetti. Hold on, I'm grabbing too much stuff over here. I'm not just throwing it on the floor. I have a basket over here I'm setting them in. I mean, not that you would care if I was throwing them on the floor anyway. So this one is from Just Cross Stitch Magazine, June 2016. Summer and Chalk. It's one of the collaboration with Priscilla Blaine and Kathy Haberman. I think this time I did, I know I came up here and did more leaves. I believe that where I've stopped is the end of the first page. So, and then I filled in some of the white around there. Honestly, when I work on stuff in the morning, that's really all it's going to get worked on during the day. I almost never come home after work and stitch some more because I'm just that freaking tired. This one is a kit, and it is the bane of my existence. It is killing me. Here, if I get my face out, maybe it'll show that better. Didn't really look like it. It's because these little flowers have so many colors. So I came and I filled in those flowers. I don't remember if I put in any of this or not. I may have put in some of the one side or the other. I may have. I don't actually remember. But I know I did these flowers. They'll need back stitching, of course. There's a ton of back stitching in this pattern. I worked on this mason jars by dimensions. Those of you who have the kit and haven't started it, pull it out. Let's do this one together. Because I'm not far ahead of you. It will be like we just started. I was filling in a little bit here on the jar, and then I came up and, well, I did this, the stem for the flowers, and then I decided to come up and do some flowers where I would actually be able to tell a difference in from where I started and what I did that day. I know it's a little bit pathetic, but... And I worked on my friendship quilts. The mason jars is on my list of 20. And so is this one. Yeah, not seeing it. So on this one, I came up here and I started putting in stitches, and then I realized that where this row of stitches going down this one column that I was using to put in my stitches is on the inside of another column. So I know that makes it sound perfectly clear as mud. Anyway, I had to rip out what I'd done, so I came down here and started filling in this quilt that's sitting. So I put in some of the green stitches for the chair and that the quilt is laying over, and started putting in the quilt. I figured that was better. Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. I want y'all to know that for the wedding, for the reception afterwards, I know I showed you the jars and the flowers that Kirsten had made, and um, the first thing I tried for frosting the jars did not work, and I was in a panic, but I realized almost too late I could paint the jars on the outside, not the inside, and that would be fine. So that's what we did. I was putting everything together, and I had bought lights for the jars last year sometime, and I put them in the jars, and I hated them. And so we were 3, 4 days out, and I had to find new lights. So that was a little bit panicky, but I found a package of lights on Amazon, and they got here the next day, thankfully. And they were better. They weren't, the others were too bright, which for fairy lights you wouldn't think that would be a thing, but they were too bright. So crisis averted on that one. I was close to a meltdown. I'm still an emotional wreck right now because, as Dax says, Dax and I are at opposite extremes. He can't hold anything in, and I hold everything in. So eventually it'll all calm down, hopefully. Out of this cross stitch and country craft, this is March, April of '86, is another one of the cat's baskets and quilts. This one might be my favorite. It's an Amish quilt. And here we are. I had to rip out this because I had used the wrong color. So I pulled that all out, put it back in, and then I did this black. Gray will go where the white is. It will be like this one. But this is the bottom of the next block. It'll be much like this, I believe. And then there's only like somewhere between 5 and 10 stitch wide border on the quilt. And that's the edge. That would get me to, good gravy, that would get me to both sides of this piece. That just thrills me to no end. I can't even tell you. We got to take the little things. We have got to take the little things. I worked on this one. Still have not finished it. But it's getting closer. It's getting closer. I filled in this tree with the rest of the green and all of the snow on it. Put the stars on both of them. Finished filling in this window, the snow at the top of both windows. Finished filling in the bow on the wreath and added a couple of more rows to the roof of the house. I really got a lot done on this one. I wonder if it was a weekend one. No, it wasn't. I must have just been on top of my game that day. I don't know. But as far as just flat out stitching, I just have the roof of the house left to go. In the little chimney, I guess. I've done it more than half the roof, so I don't know. I'm not going to say the next time I'll get it all done, because then next time it comes up, I'll sleep it late and forget to turn off my alarm or something, and something will happen and I won't stitch on it hardly any at all. Be thankful. On this one, mostly I filled in the basket. Filling in the basket, I only have a little bit left on the basket part. Here's the whole thing. So, and then I'll have the other pumpkins and stuff on top of it to go, and I still have lots of letters. I don't think this one is on my list this year. Not that that matters, really. I worked on Happy Everything. I believe this is on my list. And all I did this time on this one was back stitching. Here's where it is, very thing. And like I said, all that I got done on this one was back stitching. So, I had only done like to where the ghost is. So I had to finish the H and do the cat. Part of the N, I haven't finished the N, as you can see. I got the turkey and the leaves around it done. But look, it's actually a turkey and not a pile of leaves with feet. So there you go. So next time this one comes up, I will continue with the back stitching until I get this side done before I move on and do the other stuff. While we're gone, I'll still be doing Stitch Mania, so that's all just gonna, none of these are gonna get worked on. It is hot out here. It's 90 plus degrees outside. It's very hot. I used the Joyful World Stitch Along. I started from August through December. I put in my mania for where I had a new start. So this one was a new start for me. August. It's pretty impressive. I know, right? September's. Those owls are kind of neat. It is on the same piece of fabric. There you go. Again, very impressive start. I put a little, with the water washout marker, I put the little A on there so I would know which one was August. Look at me thinking ahead. I don't do that very often. October. The little porcupine, hedgehog. I don't know. Is he a hedgehog? I think he's a hedgehog. Same border, but I was a little bit over continuing with it, so I put in the butterfly. I feel certain that's how this goes. Yeah, it goes like that. And truth be told, I started in November on this same piece, and I was looking at it after I got that much done. It goes like this. And honestly, I don't think they'll both fit. By the time this actually comes, as far as it's going to come, I don't think they'll both fit because that's a little less than half. So, obviously I haven't ripped it out yet. I did that on November's day. And then I had to find another piece of fabric and start over. So, I found this one. And I started in the middle because I wanted to stitch that border again right now. I am over it. Okay, not really, but. And December. And for December, I had a piece of Ada that was, and I'm just stitching these on whatever. They're not even all the same size because they're going to clip on a board. So it doesn't matter. They're not going to be displayed together, and it doesn't matter. I think December I started yesterday. Yes. And yesterday I had a little bit of free time, so it got more done. Anyway, I had a piece of Ada that was like a cream color, but kind of heavy on the yellow. It wasn't really a yellow, but it had a lot of yellow undertones. So I just coffee dyed it a little bit. Maybe that'll show up better. I just wanted a little bit of modeling, kind of like this one has. It's kind of hard to tell in there too. Anyway, I did the little corner, but then I came over and did some other things. I'm trying to decide with those two ornaments. I think I might do a straight stitch, I guess, long stitch, whatever, to have them hanging from the border. I think that would look cute, but I haven't decided yet. Actually, the truth of the matter is, I've probably decided, but I haven't done it yet. And last but not least, everyone's favorite, because I'm sure you're sick of seeing it. I worked on Wyatt's stocking. So, here we go. Get some of these threads out of the way. Overall, there we are. I was getting frustrated with what was going on down here because I keep miscounting. So I moved up here and finished out some of these houses, put in a couple of trees, part of some other buildings, and as you can see, I'm filling in, like some of the really darker blue through here is already filled in, and I'm filling in with the more medium. Right here, this is as far over as it goes. We are making the turn on the toe right there. That's pretty freaking exciting. Not gonna lie. I was watching somebody's Floss Tube. I don't remember who it was. I'm still trying to get through what do you call them? Whip parades. So I think in my watch later file, I think when I looked the other day, there were over 600 videos. I will never catch up. And I can't even use this time that we're away to catch up because there is no, our cell phones and stuff don't work. There's no TVs, no cell phones, none of that where we're going. So I won't even catch up while I'm gone. But that's okay. We're looking forward to some time for nothing. Anyway, I've also worked on other stuff. Been crocheting some of these little scrubbies for Dax's mom and my mom. These are a fantastic size. They just fit so easy in your hand. I love them, so I made them some a couple of years ago, and I decided it was time for more. Dax did cut the leather for me, but I didn't have time until today to finish one of my projects. So I did this. I'm thrilled with the way it turned out. I really would have liked for there to be a different, like, if I wouldn't have put the two light colors so close together, but I was running out of options, so that's how it had to go. Those are belt blanks that he had in his stash, so I'm thrilled with it. I like the way it turned out. So we'll see how the rest of it goes. Dax tooled this. Addison had asked him to tool her bouquet wrap. So she had this wrapped around her bouquet when she carried it down the aisle. I don't know if you can see it on there or not. Right down here he put in, "I love you." She asked him, because the pattern had an initial here, and it had the date on it, maybe down here. But she asked him not to put it in case one day her kids or something wanted to carry it. But it just laces up around the bouquet. So that was nice. It was nice. And I just want to say, Joanne Hicks had the most perfect name, because I showed y'all this last time. I got on a tangent about the whiskey. But she called it the Ortometer. Couldn't be a better name for it. So, if somebody wants their very own Ortometer, I have another jar. And quite frankly, if you give me a couple of weeks, I'll have another if more than one of you want an ortometer. So, y'all let me know. Comment down below. Ortometer if you want one. Oh, I got off on a tangent. I'm sorry. I was talking about watching somebody's video, and I wish I could remember whose, because she said in the video, hello, Stitchers. And I thought she said, hello, bitches. And I was like, whoa, whoa. I'm not saying it's not true in my case. I was just caught off guard. But she wasn't. She was much nicer than that. I just thought it was funny because I was like, whoa, huh? What? I'm trying to think if there's anything else exciting going on. I think I have pulled what I'm supposed to work on next week while we're gone. I think that's all. I can't tell you how much I am looking forward to just this week away. We just need nothing to do. I have to go because it's a cabin, so I have to go to the grocery store in the morning to get the food for us to take. I couldn't do it before because of the wedding. My refrigerator and freezer are full. Addison had, in addition to the wedding cake, she had asked me to make cobblers. So I made 36 little mini cobblers in the 4-ounce mason jars, the little ones. We had a dozen each of cherry, peach, and blackberry. And I bought little Bluebell ice cream cups to go with all of them. Hardly anyone ate any of them because they ate so much barbecue. And then I also made, she'd asked me to make corn casserole for her. And I said, well, they won't. I can't imagine that the catering people would let me put that up on the table with their food for liability reasons. So she had those in a little cooler under the wedding table, and I said, there are 12 of them. If you want people, you can tell who you want to know that you have them stashed up there. So a lot of that stuff came back home with us, which is, I left some out that we would eat, but a lot of it's been put into the freezer. They packed up all of the leftover food, the caterers did. So we had brisket and chicken and sausage and potato salad out the wazoo, a 13 by 9 inch aluminum pan full of green beans, which I don't know whose idea this was, but it was a terrible one. Everything was in those pans. They covered them only with aluminum foil, which means green beans and juice, not aluminum foil, saran wrap. Green beans and juice, saran wrap, and they put it on the bottom when they stacked everything up. So when we got home and were unloading the car late at night on Saturday, we were trying to figure out why the back seat was all wet. Well, it was all wet. I figured it out the next morning because we were exhausted. It was like, I don't even care. I don't even care why it's wet. We just got the food out of the car to get it in the house and in the refrigerator, and that was good enough. But since it was on the bottom, it was green bean juice all over the car seat. So that has to be clean too. Anyway, Dax doesn't eat green beans. The kids were only barely eating them. They generally like them, but so I took a bunch of green beans and put them in the freezer. I've got cobblers in the freezer. I've got corn casseroles in the freezer. It's been, after a few days you go, okay, what are we having that's not barbecue for dinner? But they sent 3 boxes full of cake home. Addison did come over on Sunday and take the barbecue. Oh, and a thing of macaroni and cheese. They sent 2 things of macaroni and cheese. She came over and took a bunch of food and a bunch of cake home, so that was good. But we're not having a barbecue next week. I can tell you that. We are not having barbecue. I will cook out on the grill at the place we're staying, but it won't be brisket or chicken for that matter. Um, I really think that's all. I don't even know why I started going off on that, but there you go. Oh, that's why I have to go to the store in the morning because I can't go get stuff and put it in my refrigerator or freezer. Okay, I'm just rambling. We're probably going to go. Should be time for us to go get coffee now. It's hot, so I think today it'll be iced coffee. If we go, we'll see. Anyway, thank you everyone for coming and hanging out with me. Welcome to the new subscribers. I appreciate y'all. And thank you for the comments. I got to several of y'all, but I didn't get to everyone. We'll see if I can even get this uploaded from out here at the house. That may not even be a reasonable expectation. I really don't know. Anyway, doesn't matter. Thank you, everyone, for your likes, your comments, your subscribing, coming back and hanging out with me. It is appreciated. And don't forget, if you want an ortometer, leave a comment. If there's more than one person, I'll do a drawing. Like I said, I think I have a second one. Dax keeps giving me a hard time because I never throw these bottles away because I use them for other things. But I'll send you one. And, if they're really popular, I don't mind sacrificing for you. It would give me a good excuse to have to buy the whiskey I like the best. I like it the best so far. Anyway, thanks, y'all. We'll see you here next time. Bye.